Welcome back, it's Nine, and I'm back with another video, and we're discussing the PS5, the Xbox Series X, Horizon Zero Dawn, and The Last of Us 2 hate messages going around over on Twitter. But before we get into that, please, if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it. Starting with an article that comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com titled PS5 and Xbox Series X will achieve dream of movie quality graphics, says Epic. Epic's Kim Liberi claimed the new consoles would fulfill his longtime goal, partly thanks to Unreal Engine 5's nanite tech, which is claimed will allow developers to put movie quality assets in their games. It has been a lifelong dream of mine that real-time computer graphics, and in particular games, can be as believable and realistic as a movie, he said. Next-gen graphics and processing power will not only make games more immersive, but will also enable entirely new gameplay concepts that can take advantage of fully dynamic environments and lighting, much improved physics, smarter AI, and richer multiplayer experiences. So we know Epic has spent a lot of time praising the PlayStation 5. They've given praise to even the Xbox Series X, and this just takes that a step further, talking about just what these consoles can do with this new engine. And it's exciting because we're going to be seeing games developed a little bit easier, I guess, from the description that they've given, making it take less time to create these environments, and they don't really have to fine-tune or spend as much time fine-tuning things as they did in previous generations. Now, of course, we are going to have more to it than just that, right? We've got better physics, lighting, AI, they claim richer multiplayer experiences, and these are all pretty critical to making video games and making good video games, especially when it comes to graphic fidelity, which, a lot of people like. A lot of people do care about having pretty graphics. And one of my biggest concerns coming out of this generation that we're in right now with the PS4 and Xbox, I feel like our environments always looked a little odd, right? They looked fuzzy. They didn't look detailed. We can take a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, which its assets were just awful when it comes to textures for the environments, pretty much unacceptable. And I wonder if this would have solved that. Would this allow better textures? Would this not have caused the pop-ins that we had? And I think that also is coupled with the SSD and all that stuff. So there's a lot to it, and I think we'll get to see more of just what it all means once we get our hands on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And I can't wait to see games like Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 on those platforms, just to see what they can do with the textures, with the environments, with the lack of loading screens, which was a huge problem with Final Fantasy VII Remake. So that's a really exciting thing to look forward to for anybody who's into that series, and this will apply to pretty much every game that's using Unreal Engine. So that's something great that we can look forward to. But on to the next topic. This article comes from PushSquare.com titled Horizon Zero Dawn rockets straight to the top of Steam bestseller list. In the UK, the Guerrilla-developed role-playing game is currently outselling discounted copies of Football Manager 2020, Doom Eternal, and Halo Master Chief Collection. Guys, this is pretty big. If you think about it, this was kind of an experiment for the PlayStation brand, right? Putting a game of theirs that's an exclusive IP of theirs onto the PC platform after years of it being out, just to see how it performs. And this is a clear indication of just how excited people get for PlayStation exclusives. And I think this might just spell more PlayStation exclusives going to the PC platform. Now, that's not a bad thing. I know that some people are anti putting games on PC that are supposed to be exclusive to the PlayStation platform, but the reality is that things are changing. I think we're moving into a direction where Sony is going to milk as much as they can off of their IP, and then after they've garnered as many sales as possible on the PlayStation, they're going to shift these titles over to the PC and see what they can do on that platform. Chances are, and I know this isn't in every case, but most people who own a PC and are gaming primarily on a PC don't go out and buy a PS4 or a PlayStation 5, for example. So they're not really ostracizing their market by putting their games on another platform, especially if it's not like 5 years after a release, or even like 3 to 4 years, I think that's a long enough time that the game doesn't even really matter on the platform anymore, and most people who have bought that game would be their target audience, so they're not really missing out on sales. I think the PC audience is a very specific audience. It would be a rare case, if at all, that somebody would say, I'm going to wait for the PC release and I'm not going to play it on the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 4. I think those people who are playing it definitely are just PC gamers. And people who game on PC like their customization. They like that freedom. They're not going to be switching over to a console at any time. And I really don't think the people playing these games on PC are going to play these games, enjoy them, and then go buy a console, because the market is so different. The people who own PCs and game on gaming PCs don't care for console. They really don't. Again, I'm not saying that nobody does. I'm saying the vast majority of PC gamers are PC gamers for a reason, and nothing's going to convince them to jump over to a console, especially with all the freedom and stuff that they do get with their gaming rigs. On to the next topic. We are talking about The Last of Us Part 2. This comes from pushsquare.com, but I did see this on my Twitter feed as well, but I wanted to grab like an article of it just to be more presentable. So it's titled, Industry Rallies Around The Last of Us 2 Voice Actor After Hate Messages Are Revealed. So Laura Bailey is one of the voice actors for the character Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. I'm going to try to avoid spoiling anything, so just so you know, there will be no spoilers, but it is going to allude to major event in the game. So if that is a spoiler to you, then I suggest you click off. Otherwise, enjoy. So she says, man, I try to only post positive stuff on here, but sometimes this just gets a little overwhelming. I blacked out some of the words because, spoilers. Side note, thank you to all the people sending me positive messages to balance it out. It means more than I can say. So these messages are pretty disgusting. And I'm just going to throw them up on screen. I'm not even going to read them out because they're very disgusting. They're vile. And she's getting a lot of hate. And the reason being is some events take place and people were upset about it. And I guess they feel she's responsible, which makes no sense. If they want to be upset, I understand. You don't like the direction of a story. You don't like how a story ends or how a story is told. Okay, that you're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be unhappy about something. But what you're not allowed to do is to make threats to someone's family, to them, to their children. These things are unacceptable. These things are not okay. And in so many ways, it's just like, why are you this angry about a fictional world? These aren't things that are in the real world. And I feel like people get so invested in these stories and in these games, movies, whatever it may be, and they take things too far. If you're upset about the story, then get upset with the person who wrote the story, but at the same time, don't even send them like death threats or anything like that. I mean, you're allowed to express your displeasure with a story or whatever it might be about a piece of media, but you definitely can't go off and start cursing them out and telling them that you're going to kill them. Like, that's crazy. How can you say things like that? I don't know. I guess when you aren't of that mind, it's hard to understand why somebody would do that. And I can't think of any justification for that. That's wild to me. But I am glad that, people are responding positively to her sending this out and, showing her some support because she deserves it. Nobody deserves to go through this kind of thing for, being a voice actor. Like, come on, that's not something that's her fault. And even so, you don't have any right to treat somebody like that for the stupidest reasons ever, like just because you didn't like the direction of a story. Whether you like The Last of Us Part 2 or not, guys, respect each other. Respect each other. That's all you need to do, and it's that simple. There's nothing more to it, and I ask that you guys don't ever partake in this if you're watching this video. Then again, you're your own person. You're free to do what you like, but I would advise that, you be civilized, be nice to each other. But anyway, that wraps up today's video. I'm going to pass this on to you guys, ask you what you guys think of the news. What do you think of next-gen games having movie-quality graphics? What do you think of Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC and it doing so well? It even surpassed Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and we know Halo as a first-person shooter is a pretty big deal on the PC platform, so that's pretty impressive. And lastly, what do you make of this entire case with Laura Bailey? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Follow me on Twitter, link will be in the description. Share this video with a friend, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.